Good morning, traders. Welcome to Beyond Profile. Today is Friday, April 15th, and markets are pretty much flat overnight, slightly down. We had some news out of the sovereign debt from Spain, Ireland, some more news out from over there. We've got some CPI numbers coming out this morning. Yesterday, nice big bounce at the open, came right down to the 1300 level and bounced. And the question is this going to be a B formation that forms to give us another stage 3 to give us continuation down? We have to watch for that. Top side here, if I get some big numbers on the S&P, would be 15s. Right here, 15s would be, I'd actually look to sell that the very first time I got into it, and then look for it to roll back. And again, we'll have to watch this because of this break here. If we sit down here too long, that's going to trigger continuation down in this S&P market. So we have to be very careful, looking at the candle structure and saying, well, look at the big bottoming tail, as a hammer type of thing. But look at the reference points over here. There's not much either. It's a psychological number of 1300s, more so than anything of substance. You get more substance if you get back over here these prior highs at like 1293s on this market. So I'm kind of wait and see mode here, and again, like I said, 13s to 15s areas on the top side here. We would look to be, sellers the first time into it, and then see how far we roll back. With the numbers coming out this morning, it's going to be a little interesting to see. And it being options expiration Friday, are they going to sell this thing off and push us lower, or are we going to get back over this level and challenge back to 20s? Google's earnings last night. I guess they were okay. It wasn't what the street was expecting, though, and they're down hard this morning. They're down almost 5.5%. They're down $31 here. That's a big move to the downside. So Google's going to put some pressure on the Nasdaq. Although the semiconductor index, which was lagging the last couple of days, actually closed at the highs yesterday. So that's another sector group we have to keep an eye on. This morning, especially when we're trading the Nasdaq. Nasdaq has not pulled back that far, even with the Google news, which is kind of surprising. I'm thinking if we can hold these 2296s to 98s here this morning, we may be in store for a bounce there. Because the daily, let's look at the daily Nasdaq daily. You can see the prior day on Wednesday we had a nice green candle. Yesterday we had a bottoming tail, but it too is forming what I would consider a stage 3 here for continuation down, which, if this breaks, there's not much down in here. I mean, we can drop all the way back to these areas here, 2265s to 22 naked point of controls here at 2256, 55 area. Can drop all the way back into that area. And I've drawn these trend lines on here where we're almost channeling inside of that. So if that would be the case, then we could come back as low as 22, 24 area here in this big old wedge formation on the Nasdaq market. So we just keep an eye on it. Like I said, Friday's options expiration, it's kind of anything goes. We could be up 20 points, 30 points in the Nasdaq, or we could be down 30 points in the Nasdaq. It's just options expiration, and then we'll get back to some common ground on Monday once options expiration is done. Remember, on Fridays when we have options expiration, usually the market will move, right up until noon. They'll get the prices of these instruments where they want them for strike prices as far as the options are concerned, and then we just usually kind of hold. And Friday afternoons usually are a good time not to trade because you can get chopped up, low volume, and it's a good time to just stay out of the markets when you see kind of things like that going on. So we got, again, stage 3s building here. We'll play on those right now to look at the, the value area highs to short into them, looking for the continuation breakdown, because I don't see enough positive here in the economic numbers, even in some of the earnings that have been coming out. JP Morgan got totally crushed yesterday, broke through the prior pivot lows. So I don't think there's any reason. We've got BAC, Bank of America, this morning. Let me actually look at what they're doing here this morning. BAC is up 3 cents, so it's a little bit higher on their earnings, so they're not getting. But so was JPM, and then as soon as it opened, and the next following day, they totally crushed it. So it doesn't mean a lot here. All right, Google is still down huge, no bounce at all in that pre-market. So keep your powder dry. If in doubt, stay out type of thing. Wait for your areas in the market. That's very important. Don't guess about where things actually are going to bounce from, and wait for the turn, wait for volume to confirm that before jumping in with both feet. So okay, folks, have a great trading day, have a great weekend, and we'll see you in the room. If not, we'll see you on Monday.